What's going on, everybody? It's CryptoVision here, back again with another crypto market deep dive. I hope you're having a great day. Today's video is a little bit different. We're going to be checking out Bitcoin and Ethereum, so a little combo video. So we're going to be checking out the monthly, going into the weekly, just a little bit of a more of a macro, not going into the daily and the 4 hour. So we'll be doing that for both videos. If you're interested in a free Discord, it'll be linked in the description. Bearish, bullish, neutral. You love crypto, you hate it, you're into precious metals, traditional stocks. We talk about everything. So go ahead and check that out. If you're interested in a paid Patreon membership, that is also linked in the description. Friday exclusive content is on that. My entire trading setup, that's also an option. I also offer two different types of command centers for asset management and portfolio tracking, and then also instant chart updates, so you don't have to wait for videos, you don't have to wait for the random Discord posts. You get those immediately, and in conjunction with that, you get my deep dive macro analysis on different aspects of what's going on. And so all that is linked in the description. As always, if you like today's video, hit that like button. Without further ado, let's get into it. So we got Bitcoin here on the monthly chart. We had a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful inverted hammer, essentially, and we're filling that wick, and you're filling that wick, and that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do, right? That's what you want to do. I've heard a lot of people say, okay, we have, you got like a 1, 2, 3. You're going to come up for a fourth, and you got to come down all the way down to 45,000 for your fifth wave move. Okay, a lot of debate on that, a lot of talk on that. My stance is this. So this 82,000. All right, that's going to be a big area. Before we even get to 82,000, we're above one of my key levels, 71,000. We're above that, so the next target is 78,000. Okay. The reason why I do believe that this is different, is because we've already completed a three-wave move. Okay, we've already completed a three-wave move. A three-wave move of the C wave to complete the three-wave move of your expanded flat. Okay, so and so what we're thinking about right now, what we're thinking about moving forward, okay, is an idea where market sentiment is absolutely in the gutter. We're at war. I mean, the ceasefire's in place. That's pretty fragile, right? There's already some tension because of strikes going on in Lebanon, right? There's already tension with that, so the strait was closed down, and the strait's now open, and non-affiliated parties are now passing through the strait. So that's good news. But when you're in a ceasefire like this after such an intense campaign, it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty fragile. I wouldn't be shocked if something fell through and then there's no more talks. Okay, so waiting on that. There's no, inflation is rising because of oil prices. Okay, so the Fed isn't going to cut rates. Nothing that real shocking about that. We talk about all this on the live. Okay, so this is kind of just the brief summary. And then right now PMI is still expanding. Okay, so with all that still happening, PMI is expanding. So imagine if there was there was less resistance on the American front on the markets, right? I mean, it just feels like whatever can go wrong has gone wrong. So with that being said, if we're looking for 5 waves down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I could see 40. I could definitely see it. Right? If you come up through here and you reject in a 3-wave move, let's say you come up in 3 waves, right? You come up in like a 1, 2, 3. I would expect actually like 93,000. I have a key level up there. Okay. Get everyone really excited. Then you reject. I can definitely see that. Right now, I'm not worried. I'm looking for a 3-wave move. Regardless, worst case scenario is a 3-wave move, and in doing so, I do believe when Bitcoin does start to go up, I do believe Ethereum is going to outperform that, and we're going to go into the reasons why. Okay, we are going to go into the reasons why. You are finding support at your 50 EMA. Okay, at your 50 EMA, we're going to look at the electricity costs. Okay, electricity costs for the monthly are down at 57,000. On your last bear market, okay, your last long-term correction, you just dipped right into there. You didn't actually hit that bottom. Look what we have done. We've come down through, and we are in it to win it. So we're already down past the correction of what the price was and what electricity cost is. You're not going to dip too far below. where we're at right now. I actually don't think you're going to dip down below 57,000. I don't believe so. I do have levels to the downside from 57 down to 53. I don't know where they are exactly. Do I have them on here? I don't have, I don't know where they are exactly. I don't know where they are exactly, but down through there, about it's like 57 down to 53, right? The worst case scenario, you do come down through here and you do, take out some lows, okay? But I'm not expecting 45,000. I'm not expecting that until we see a three-wave move up, hitting that 80, 88 to 93,000. Okay, in a three-wave move, that's where I'd be scared. That's where I'd be extremely scared. Okay, in terms of the overall what's going on for Bitcoin, in terms of the indicators, okay, you're starting to get down through here in the Fu Manchu, the wave. Now you're really oversold. Okay, you're really oversold the last time you were down in these levels. Okay, last time you're down in those levels, probably a good time to buy, right? Probably a good time to buy. Okay, probably a good time to buy. Okay, so we're I mean, people are hating on bulls right now, but it's a good. I mean, if you're DCing in, for me personally, this is none of this financial advice. This isn't. I'm not a financial advisor. This is what I'm doing. These are my ideas. These are my levels, right? As long as if you're buying in oversold conditions and you're not buying tops, from what I've experienced, and you have some discipline to get out of the market when you're up, it's never for me personally, it's never gone wrong. Okay, it's never gone wrong. But being patient is hard, man. Being patient is hard. So we have this. We're starting to get this rounded RSI, right? We're starting to get a rounded RSI. Almost looks like this, but we had a blip and then we came down more. So as long as we, this could be that blip and then we come down more. So now we need to see follow through. There's no more opportunity now to get rejected. You have to go. You have to continue. You have to keep going. Once we start to see, I mean, you see 68 taken. If price starts to close down below 68,000, yeah, expect some lower prices, because that's the monthly. 68 is that line in the sand. Okay, the 3-week chart. We're checking out the 3-week chart right through here. I just had to check my time. I don't want the video to be excruciating long. I don't really use the MACD on the monthly just because it's so delayed, right? Crypto can run in a week. It can go up. If you've been in crypto, it just takes a week. It takes 10 days, right? 2 weeks, and then things are going. And the monthly is just so far behind it. It doesn't. It does provide information once the move is done, especially on the monthly. It's almost like a very large ship turning. You see the ship turning before the ship is actually turned. You're like, oh, okay, it's turning, and the MACD is like showing us that the ship has already turned, but you saw it, 10 hours ago when it was turning, right? That's just a real life example. It's probably terrible. Let me know in the comments if that's terrible or not. I have this RSI through here. Sorry, this horizontal line just for visual representation. Okay, this 50 line. You're down below here. You're doing your worst work. You're above. You're doing your best work. Okay. We have this rounded bottom again. Rounded bottom. So this is an attempt. This is the attempt, right? If you don't get through on this attempt, you're in trouble, right? Bitcoin's in trouble. You're slowing on bearish momentum, which is great. You're slowing on bearish momentum. What happened? Yeah, you found some more lows. You did find some more lows. Okay, so that's not going to be. It's not going to be too helpful, right, on the 3-week chart. We got to see what's going on the weekly chart. But overall, right? Overall, you're still trying to fight above. I mean, as we're speaking, it's still above 71,000. So, we're looking for a close above that, and then we can target some higher levels. We had a green week buy down through here. I had one right here. So, like I said before, just because you have the green week buy doesn't mean it's automatically going to go up. What did it do right here? Yeah, you were close to your lows. You weren't at your low. It took that one more sweep of the lows, but this isn't and essentially it's not going down to that 40 to 30,000. Like I've heard people say 12,000. Those people are absolutely insane. They're just extremely bearish at the lows. They just want chaos and havoc to wreak. They just want people to be in fear. Okay, they do. When you're down at these levels, can it go a little bit lower? Sure it can. What did it go? How much lower did it go? Realistically, how much lower did it go from that wick? Because we're going to do wick to wick. John Wick to John Wick. 13%. from here. 52,000. Okay, what did I say? 57 to 53. So 52,000, okay? Not 45, not 30, not 12. No, none of that, right? None of that jargon, okay? None of that BS. Okay, you're in a slightly overextended range, okay? But, you know, with the fact that Bitcoin doesn't have the historical data, the auto fib is kind of irrelevant at that point, okay? We can kind of get rid of it, and we're going to come through right here. Electricity cost is at 65,000 on the 2-week chart. Okay, and you're bouncing right on this, okay? So this is interesting, right? You're bouncing right on this. What'd you do down through here? You didn't even touch it. You didn't even touch it, okay? Through here, you sank through it just slightly. So it's almost like this correction is almost similar to this correction. The correction we're in is almost similar to something like this. Something like this, okay? Because you came down through here hard, took it out, bounced down. But again, it was probably a lot easier to get down through there because Bitcoin's price relative to electricity cost wasn't significantly different. Like look at down through here. This was at 15,000 and the price ran up to over $100,000, right? And so it took didn't take a long time, but it took a lot of selling pressure to get down to even 65,000. But it's bouncing right on there. We did wick right below it. So did that satisfy what was required? I don't know. Maybe not. Until we start closing above these key levels. This is a bullish. I don't know. I don't care what people say. This is extremely bullish. This is extremely bullish, right? You impulse. Okay, you give that right back up, and then you impulse right again. Okay, so it is bullish, but it is also chopping, right? You're just in this zone. Okay, and until you get, like I said, until you start closing above that 71K level, then you know we really can't say for certain. I mean, it's hard to say for certain in any kind of investment world, but with higher probability that we're going to see higher prices. Okay, on the weekly chart, we're looking good. We are. I mean, look what we got going on, right? You're at this point. Did we get a lower close? Closed at. Let me see through here. I always do that. 65,000, 65.9, 65.7. Okay. So no bullish divergence yet. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Yeah, nothing yet. Okay. We do a bullish divergence right through here. So that's bullish momentum building. And what do we have? We're starting to see some actual green candles. So that's good to see. Cross on the stochastic. That's great to see. Cross on the moving average on the RSI. Good to see. And but right now, the MACD, we're still below the zero. I don't really care if we see green above here. If we're not above the zero, it don't really matter to me. Okay, just like this, right? You saw green. Were you above the zero? No, you were not. Okay, what'd you do? You saw lower prices. Okay, so until you're above the zero, doesn't matter. Oh, there's green on the MACD on the weekly. Yeah, but where are you? Are you above the zero? If you're not above the zero, it's still in a bearish environment. It does look like it's pointing vertical, which is great. It is what you want to see. You do want to see that. It's very similar to this, right? It's very similar to this where you had this cross, you're pointing vertical, but you could not get above the zero. So what you do, you kind of just, you sold off a little bit more. Okay, so that could be the possibility where you still cross. You have green up through here, but you're selling off. It's still building bullish momentum, but you're getting out those last minute liquidations to just to get rid of people using leverage. I mean, come on, you get decimated time and time again, and they just won't stop. In terms of price action on the daily, this is the last one. Then we'll go over to Ethereum. Right now, you're trying to fight above this level through here. You're above your 50 and your 20 EMA. You're back above the 56 on the RSI. So the reason why I marked this is when you're actually doing good things, when you're actually, doing good things and having fun, you were above, right? You got above. Yeah, you wicked back down, but you came right back up and you lived up through here. Then once you came back down, that's not good. What'd you do when you got up? Great things. Okay? Great things. Wick down. Oh, quick. Got back up. Okay? So that's what we want to see. We want to see this reverse into an area where we're living above this. We're doing something like this. You come back down, clear it out, come back up, come back down, clear it out, something like that. Okay? That's what we want to see. That's what we're getting right now. Okay? That's what we're getting. The MACD on the daily chart is now above the zero. It is the daily, so how much significance is there? It's not very significant. A lot of people are saying we are in a bear flag, right? We're in a bear flag very similar to what we did right through here. You notice the difference though? This is a channel moving up, right? You're going up slowly, you're going up slowly, you're going up slowly. What did we do through here? Well, you came down. Well, that's different, right? That's different. Then you worked your way up. Then what'd you do? You came down, right? You took out lows again. What were we not doing over here? What were we not doing over here? You weren't taking out lows, okay? You took out low one time. Nope, higher low, higher low. Oh, we're going to set a higher low. No, we're not. Boom. Okay, so it's extremely different, okay? 3 drives to the high, you come back down. What'd you do? Kept going higher and higher, higher slowly. Okay, we've come down twice, and we've taken out lows twice. Okay, we're coming right back up. So the people who are saying we're in a bear flag, I think they're being ignorant in the fact that this pattern and this pattern are not the same. They're not the same. They're not the same. Okay, this was more so going sideways. Right, this is going sideways. We're at 71,000. What we're at right here, we're at 70,000 right here. Down through here, you know, we got up to 93,000. Okay, all the way down from 80. This is a pretty large move. 80,000 up to 98,000. That's a 20% move. What have we gone up through here? 26%. But where are we now? We're not making new all-time. We're not making new highs. Right, this was making new highs up through here. This was really channeling in. This was really channeling to be bearish right through here. Like, this is really bearish. That's really bearish. Right, that's you're just waiting on a rejection on one of those. As of right now, I mean, realistically, you got this correction that came down through right here. Okay, you almost have like this 3-wave move. 1, 2, 3. You have a 3-wave move up. And then you have this move down, okay? So not a 3-way move down, but you still have a correction right through here. So what do we got? Do we have 5 going up? We got 1, 2, 3, possibly a 4. So you have an A, B, C. Maybe you come down tomorrow, okay? Then you continue up. Then you continue up, okay? Then you continue up. So we could see, you know, whether or not we hold 71,000. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe you come down a little bit, back test the 20, back test 68,000 again. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Back test. So you have a 1, 2, 3. Come down for a 4. Go get a 5. So that's what we're looking for on Bitcoin. Okay, we're going to transition over to Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Okay, Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Then we're going to get into Ethereum rather quickly. Okay, rather quickly. For those who are saying that, you know, crypto is dead, crypto is bearish, it's going to zero. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I think they're on the rooftops, they're shouting right now because the price has gone down, sentiment is terrible, people are afraid, the world is at war, but this is a flag, okay? This is a bull flag at relative lows, okay? At relative lows, okay? And what you've done is you've consolidated in a 3-wave move. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you've gone sideways now, so now you're just in accumulation mode, and now you're just waiting. And now it's just accumulation time and wait time. Wait for people to be extremely bearish to get rid of all their positions, and then market makers are going to do something that a lot of people aren't going to be happy with. They're going to send the markets up, and that'll be max pain. Okay, you're above the moving average on your RSI. You are above your stochastic. It's still below the 0, so there's not a lot of weight on it. It is the monthly, so like I said, it's kind of it's not as reliable, right? You did have a red dot back through here in February, and so we could see this correcting for a couple more months for sure, maybe a month or two. But realistically, Bitcoin, things can still go up, and this chart can go sideways, and then once Bitcoin starts to stall, that's when the chart can go up. So it was in February, so it's March, April, maybe May. You go through. If you're interested in the time frames and things like that, I talk about the time frames in my live streams. I just don't have so much time through here. People don't like watching through really long videos, right? So if you're interested in my lives, I talk about macro things, macro charts, things of that nature. Okay, we talked about. We added onto here. I mean, we drew this, I don't know, Monday, maybe even last week. I think we drew it on Friday, actually, for the premium last week, Friday. This is bearish. This is bearish, right? So would I be surprised if this came back down through here, flushed this out, reset and go and went, no, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I would not be surprised. And so that's kind of what it's looking like. It's looking like it's gonna make a decision by by the end of April, beginning of May, right? End of April, beginning of May. But overall, I mean, the chart is still looking really nice. It's still looking really nice from a low, 2-wave low to the 3rd wave high. All right, we got those. We got that key level right there, 34856. Once you break through that, that's that 382. So that's when you look for upside pressure. All right. You almost have you're almost gonna have like an inverse head and shoulder, and then you go. A lot of charts are setting up like that too, so I wouldn't be surprised with that. The 886 is right through here. I put 24209. I don't just run just with fibs because I think that's irresponsible, right? You got to look at price action too, and so I use that 886. The 886 is right below, but back testing that wave 1 termination point would still keep the L8 wave count alive. So you'd still have a 1, 2, 3. You're coming down for a 4th, and then you got to go up for a 5th, somewhere up through here. Okay. At least for that move, right? I mean, that would be a fairly large increase, right? That'd be a fairly large increase. This so far has been 140%. I mean, if we do take out some lows, to the low target is 88, to the middle is 137, to the high is 170%. So more than April, definitely more than November, right? This is November, ladies and gentlemen. This is alt season for Ethereum. Right, that's alt season. Of everybody, that's alt season. Okay, so that's Ethereum versus Bitcoin. We're just gonna check out Ethereum real quick. Right. So Ethereum, we're gonna turn on the auto fib so you guys can see the visual representation I'm talking about. So the last couple times, okay, it cleans it up. Right, the last couple times Ethereum bottomed. Right, last couple times Ethereum bottomed, it hit this golden zone. Golden zone, golden zone, golden zone. Okay. Those times where it hit that golden zone were prime opportunities to buy. Not according to, I mean, it's not just me, right? It's not me, it's what Ethereum did. Okay, you bought, then you ran up. I mean, even if you bought right through here, it ran up 80%. A pretty good return on investment. Okay, 80%. Same thing through here. Before the next correction, it was 90%. Then you corrected. Okay, but even if you just held on from down here and you sold off on that first wave, that's 200. That's a 250% move. Okay, so if we're looking at this from this low, we'll take the low to the high, 250%. 250%. It's about that 6,200 mark. Okay, roughly 6,200. Okay, so what do we have? We have 58 all the way to 79. Okay, so that would place it right in between here. Okay, so the lowest target to the most likely target. So that's exactly what I'm expecting. I'm expecting something like that to happen. You're above the 2179 mark. You're above this level. Okay, if we close above that, the next target, I make it simple. You close above this, guess what you get to do? You get to target 3,000. Fairly simple, right? You rejected this multiple times, and you found support at it. Okay, you found support. Okay, so rejected, found some support, and yeah, there you go. Maybe a little bit of support right through there. Couldn't make it there on the rejection. So yeah, that's what I got for Ethereum. The 2-week chart right now is showing a buy signal. Okay, 2-week chart is showing a buy signal, which is great. It's what you like to see. This buy signal right here. You had one right here in April. You had one right here in November. So the last four, down through here. So the last 4 out of 5, right? We'll use, I mean, even this was there the last 4 out of 5. Okay, we can say the last 4 out of 6. This still went up for multiple weeks. So this is the only one right here. This is the only one that really didn't pan out to anything. Okay, so the last 4 out of 5 signals led to multiple weeks of upside price action. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say on that. I think that's a probability that I'm comfortable taking. Okay, you're above the moving average on your RSI. Still no green, but like I said, with Bitcoin, you're still below the 0. Okay, you're above the moving average on the RSI. You've now crossed. Now we need to see some momentum come up through here. Okay. So we are above this target of 2179. The next target is 3000 and beyond. So um, that's what I got for today for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Like I said, if you like today's video, please hit that like button. Subscribe for more if you like this kind of content. If you like covering crypto, go ahead and subscribe. As always, I thank you for stopping by. I thank you for your time. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. Take it easy. Peace.